All right. So, as always, just if you have flow or anything you want me to take a peek at, just feel free to drop it in the chat. But pretty slow day of flow, obviously, heading into the market close tomorrow and half day on Friday expected, obviously, especially around the holidays. I do want to pop up somewhere. We can take a peek at both for M1. Let me just clean this out. I don't need my emails popping through. Yeah, sector flow, obviously. Volume's your big thing here, obviously, sitting below that 30-day volume here on pretty much every sector here. I don't think anything is above that 30-day average right now. Yeah, everything's below that 30-day average for volume. M1 wanted me to look at bull here, so let's go take a peek at bull. Let me get another tab going here. So, let's go take a peek and see what we got here. Yeah, it's been a pretty slow day. Again, obviously expected. Yeah, pretty big gap up there, 7.25%. All right, let's clean some of this out. So yeah, oh yeah, you had some really long calls come in here. 11:41. Let's take a peek at them. I don't. Let's go see here. Let's take a peek. I don't know if there was news or not on it. I know they just had earnings, obviously, a couple days ago. Let's see, what do we got? Only thing for news today. Oh, bull. That's it. So yeah, no news, obviously. This flow, very long-term flow here. Obviously, your net call premiums are up. Man, my internet has been so low. We got slammed with a storm last night, and it's very windy here too. Yeah, a lot of net call premium here, and got those two upside gaps there, and then another one today. So could start seeing a little momentum up there again as well too. Obviously, 7% on the day is a big move already. We do have some previous open interest on this one, but let's see where we can find it. Just trying to see how that's looking there. So yeah, that flow today, you're gonna have to check that open interest on Monday. Obviously, lots of big candles in here, lots of contracts changing hands. You're just seeing a lot of names in here and not a lot of big open interest changes or anything. So just a lot of contracts kind of changing hands within here. Would definitely want to check that open interest on Monday, but from a long-term view, I like bull. Obviously, you have Robinhood kind of doing all the betting. They're kind of incorporating that sports betting and all that in there a little bit, kind of like Kalshi and all them. I feel like Weeble will probably follow along at some point in the future. Good price to get in at, obviously. Kind of, it's just like Hood again back in the day when it was so cheap. I want to look at. Let's take a peek at some of our other stuff on here. Yeah, lots of net call premium here. Obviously, another big day here. Let's see our highest volume contracts on the day. Another 10 call here, kind of mixed on that, but I want to take a peek at that. Yeah, a lot of these have a lot of open interest already on them too, so it makes it a little tougher just to know who's changing hands and all that. But and then today you don't have a singular whale kind of coming in here to be a 100% opening whale there. Let's see, what else do we got? So short-term put here, 9 days out. These came in right at open. Oh, and it's a big multi-leg one here as well, too. Let's take a peek at that. So you got to put butterfly in here. look at your table. So it's essentially looking for it to drop a little bit here within there. And obviously after being up 7% on the day, you can kind of expect maybe some profit taking in there. And I want to see how the gamma kind of looks on it as well. Yeah, gamma's screaming a lot of upside on that one. I'm going to take a peek at that chart. Yeah, obviously your chart. Not the best looking chart here. Let's clean that out here. So you are essentially, let's pop this. Let's do a 2-hour time frame on this. Yeah, you're just, yeah, I would probably look. I mean, and it's kind of a bigger zone here too. I don't like the big zones on kind of those smaller names. We'll see if we tighten it up a little bit. Yeah, your next big spot here would be kind of this the supply resistance zone at your 100-day moving average as well here. And interesting, just kind of looking at the 2-hour. I actually want to pop it down a little bit more. Your 1 hour, obviously, you had that big spike at open there, and then you had that's your biggest volume on the day in the hour, and everything else, this volume's kind of trending off here, so it could be getting a little bearish divergence there volume wise, but your chart's still kind of screaming up a little bit here. I'd maybe look for move back up into that zone here, and so on the 1 hour I'd probably put it at that 200-day moving average there if we keep running, but kind of running lower on that volume there. And just kind of looking at that day volume too. I want to take a peek at that. Yeah, your daily volume. Yeah, you're above that 30-day average on that. Yeah, that interesting one to watch there. You did reject that 20-day moving average there, it looks like, on the daily, though. Have to see what happens on that one. You just don't get the best looking chart on something like this. Can't really get any trend lines in there at all either. I mean, you can see you try to draw something in there for trend line and you're not going to get anything that even decent. I mean, this would probably be your best option there, and that's just, I mean, you're getting too many candles on the outside of that there, so you don't get a good clean trend line on something like that. Only thing I could think or kind of look at doing possibly is maybe this would be kind of starting your little trend here, possibly. Get your IPO back there. We came up, bounced, came up. Looks like we might want to bounce a little bit more, but yeah, you're just kind of, we were looking at that 2-hour chart there. I got that the 100-day and your demand zone there too, so something to definitely keep an eye on there. And Uber, I know we were talking about this in the stream yesterday. I think we were looking at the daily. I was saying kind of looking for a bounce off that support here. I don't remember who was asking about it, but I know we were talking about Uber in here, and looks like we're bouncing right off that support there. Again, look at that volume tailing off, though. That volume tailing off there. Yeah, no problem, M1. Keep throwing them at me because it's going to be a quiet stream otherwise. Just a lot of slow flow here. Rivian, let's look at the 23 or the 12, 19, 17 calls here. Definitely an opener. So you're up 5.5 on the day already. Not a fan of chasing, but let's take a look at our flow and just see if we get any clues from it. So I do like the flow, how that IV pops when it comes in. It's filling at the ask the whole way up. Just kind of following this up. We're looking good, looking good. couple minutes after. Yeah, the flow looks good to me. I just don't like the chase here, so I'm gonna actually pop this into our developing channel here. Let's pop this over here. Yeah, it's been really tough to find any decent flow today. Again, this week is any of these holiday weeks, and I continually have said this on every live. It's just so hard to force stuff, and you don't want to force the stuff. I didn't look at Rivian's volume. Let me go take a peek. Yeah, you're getting all those. I mean, you see that volume drop off there, and yeah, you are 100% correct there, M1. And look at your 30-day average. I mean, last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions have been lower, and that's where you're getting that kind of run up there too. But the good thing is it has been following this uptrend here, and you would have broken down out of kind of your little downtrend there. It just kind of historically looking at it too, you just see how it's really volatile, very volatile name, where you get those big moves up and then those really big steep drops, big move up, steep drop. So I mean, you're getting those big moves up and then steep drop there, and kind of looks like it wants to move back up a little bit there. How's our weekly look on it? Yeah, I mean, look at the week's volume here. Obviously, we have another day on Friday, but I don't see us probably getting to that 30-day average there on Friday. Yeah, really low volume day week. Let's look at TMC. Yeah, there was some TMC flow earlier too, but oh, maybe not. Oh nope, here, hold on. That's just my fat fingers. Nope, never mind. There wasn't any flow for me today. Swore I saw some. I do want to look at that volume on TMC here quick. Yeah, a little better volume. It's still below that 30-day average on that volume, though. A little better volume over the last, well, today versus your last 1, 2, 3 sessions, but still a little lower there. Yeah, I swore I saw some TEM contracts earlier there. I'm going to look for them there for you, Mig. Don't ask me why I always open a new tab and just search instead of just keep one open. I think it's just it's just so used to doing it one way. Let's see. Okay, let's take a peek here. Lower some of this premium here. So yeah, a lot of bullish flow today. I knew I saw some flow today, but think I was seeing it on lower premium here. Yeah, just some bad spreads though. I mean, bad spread there. The rest are pretty good there. I'm gonna see if I can get a little tighter on the flow here. So this is your big one here. This is your big volume here. Obviously, it's not hitting your feed because you have 12,000 open contracts on it. And I just want to see how that looks in here. Yeah, I mean, you got that big spike today, just a lot of previous open interest, so you don't know 100% until you get that change on Friday for open interest. But again, you're up 9% on the day. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, 4 call. Yeah, I mean, your flows, I mean, you don't have any puts coming in here either, and this is a pretty much wide open filter here, even if I pop it back down to 10,000, I'm sure. Yeah, not getting any puts here. I almost feel like my filter's off, but nope, it's wide open. Yeah, you're just seeing all bullish flow here, pretty much for TMC. Looks like your net call premium gap pretty much filled there. Yeah, small spike today in the net call premiums here. Good call volume though. Yeah, your highest volume contracts on the day. Yeah, the 23 day. And this one actually hasn't made a massive move either yet. With them, let's see, so 20 cents. Yeah, this is an opening one, so this is interesting to me. That IV is very high, though, on these. Let's see what. So, 164.35. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, so your IV stays up the entire time. So 30 seconds later, probably not related to it. That 100 there kind of not concerns me, but could possibly be related there. I mean, it's smaller premium there, and that entire stick here is 81,000. I want to look at that gamma on it quick here. Yeah, I mean, it's still showing a little upside there as well. And your chart, we were just kind of looking at that here. I mean, had another good spot you're coming up to. I mean, if you, let's see, I'm going to do it on the 4 hour. Trying to get a zone in here. Not quite up. I was trying to get where I could see this zone. I like this for a zone a little bit better. Okay, pop this back to the daily. Yeah, I could, if you get through that 100 day, I mean, you're already getting through that 20 day, you get through that 100, could see a run back up at least into this resistance supply area up in here, up to that kind of 619, 663 possibly. I mean, you got the gamma supporting. I mean, your gamma's continuously rising since 11/11 there. Pretty much since the beginning of November there, you've had rising gamma there. So let's see what, then we got URA here. Let's look at URA. So URA for flow, ooh, I'm not seeing anything here, just kind of little pieces of flow here. Let me try to drill down a little bit more. Yeah, you're just nothing really good here. Those puts here, I mean, you got the 40 puts here, that's 17,000 between those three here, and they're all the same timing there. Otherwise, that's kind of all I really see for the flow. 3% multi-leg, 11% on the money. 15. All coming in at the ask. Coming in at IVs up. Let's see. Yeah, net premiums. Yeah, I'm not seeing much for net premiums either. I mean, everything's just essentially bid side. I mean, you got that one spike here, and it's starting to get kind of a move up, so you still have a little bit ways to go to fill that gap, essentially. Let's see. Yeah, just a lot of bid side flow here today. Then you got that put there, and then let's see these calls, those 45s. A lot of open interest on this one, so you're not going to be able to see what's what on that one. 55 contracts. And there's 15,000 open interest. So yeah, you're not going to be able to track that whale. We looked at, I don't think we looked at gamma yet on this. Yeah, seeing negative gamma here, so could start seeing maybe a small little downturn in that one. And XYZ, are you talking about the XYZs from yesterday? Yeah, XYZs from yesterday just still chopping up high. Now, no really major changes or anything there. Yeah, no major changes there on that one. The Uber whale is still in also the last time I checked. Coin put, that one, quick scalp yesterday. You got that quick pop there, but otherwise not looking too hot now if you would have swung. And then those riot calls, I believe, are up again as well today. But you do have... Oh, you had an ad here right before close, too. Big ad right before close, and then hitting 174 today. And those SPY puts, that whale is still in these. Still in these. Got a little bid side volume after, but I mean, got some time on those. You're only 5% out of the money, and looks like your put premium slowly picking up here. And obviously, with the lighter volume here too, these bigger 1% move days are gonna. I mean, they look way more. I mean, your 1% move here isn't as strong as it would be if you're getting heavy volume. Hey, can you stop chewing on that, Hank? Hank? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Dog's chewing on my dresser over here. Thinks the little wooden handles are fun. I gotta... Hey, chew on this. You got this. Come here. Come on, get that. Oh, dogs, I tell you. And then, yeah, so I mean, mostly everything else, I mean, did decent here. I mean, it's just been a bad week of just slow flow here. I want to answer your question there, VMP. I'm not trying to ignore you. So Spine QQ daily and weekly flow low due to holiday week. This pops with gaps. Will this last? Or you know, wait. We should get back to kind of more normal volume. Little more volume next week, obviously. Everybody get returns. People aren't really putting on a lot of trades, just kind of knowing, it's a shorter week here. It's only a 3.5 day week, and then Friday, obviously, we're done at 1 Eastern, so it's just not a lot of people trading right now, and it's going to be like that again around kind of Christmas here. Let's look at our holiday schedule, because I don't know what days we're closed around Christmas this year. So Wednesday, so we close early on Wednesday. This is going to be a pretty low volume week, because you close early on Wednesday, you're off Thursday, and then a full trading day on Friday. My guess is you're going to have a very low volume week this week again too. And that's an odd schedule too, where you have that half day on Wednesday, you're off Thursday, and then you come back for 1 day. You are going to have a slow week that week. Let's see what else we got. We got an opener here. We got a 1219 Goog 3025 puts. So 5% out of the money. Low multi-leg. Let's see how this looks. So your IV spikes when that comes in. I just need to start removing that time filter, and I gotta get in that habit, because I just used to always click back and forth. So IV spikes when that comes in. So I'm not getting confidence in this flow because you can see here you are, your higher IV. IV continues to drop there, and yeah, your spot stays at the ask, but I don't like that IV drop there on those Googles there. All right, JR wants to take a peek at MSTR, the 12.5 200s. I think that may have been one. Yeah, that. So you had a lot of 12.5 195 calls hit today. Let's look at the 200s for you though. Well, let's go take a peek at the 200s. You see what happens when you give the dog the bone? He stops chewing on all your furniture and decides to actually chew on the bone. I don't know why I went to my master list here. Okay, let's just do this here. I need to go back to contract lookup. MSTR, you're doing the 12.5 200 call. So yeah, a lot of volume today. What is that one? 5,000 there, 5,000 there. That's a little concerning to me that you got bid side and then ask side flow there, but okay, let's see. So this is when all our volume's pretty much coming in here over, starting about the 20th there. Most of that big stuff kind of, so without even going back and kind of looking. So original flow there on the 20th. Okay, we are going to have to go back and look just so I can kind of give a better visual there. So 20th, obviously, very, very lighter volume there till we get to the 25th here. So so yesterday you had about 5,000 contracts trade, only 1,300 carried over. Yeah, you're not getting a lot of carryover on that volume at all. So good. So most of that volume from yesterday carried over here. So now you're seeing. So that was at 172. Trade at 259. Yeah, you want to check that open interest. I almost said Monday. Caught myself though. But this big whale here, my guess is probably taking some profits within here. You'd want to check that open interest for sure Monday. I know the strategy calls are kind of funky a little bit. Just you have a lot hit the tape all the time and they just don't always move. So that's just kind of something to. I don't know how reliable that strategy flow is. Just because you see it hit all the time and you get those big ask side hits multiple a day and they don't always run. So I haven't had the best of luck with strategy flow with it kind of hitting the criteria and actually moving in the direction. So that's just kind of one thing with strategy there, JR. But yeah, I would check the open interest on this one. But this is interesting here too. So known ETF position. This is kind of new because I haven't seen this. but I want to take a peek at it. And this is what happens when I do something brand new on the map. I thought it was going to bring me to that actual trade. Going back to the MSTRs quick here, and then I'll do open for you there, Pipsy. Yeah, I mean, look at your flow today, the 195s, 185s. I mean, this is a lot of flow here, and just lots of ask side flow. Like now, of course it ran the one time when you don't post it, but historically, you don't always get a good move on those, and shorter week too. I'd say 8 out of 10 times, even when the flow all matches with strategy, you don't always get that move. So just kind of something to always kind of be a little cautious about. But okay, let's do the opens here. So the open 12, 12, 8 call, I'm guessing, because it looks like that's your volume on the day. So this is interesting. You start having volume come in here on the 24th. Let's pop this back to the 3-day view. So here's your 24th. So a little light volume sticks in here. Majority of that carried over there. Not a huge chunk, but about half of that. So probably, my guess, whale 1, possibly whale 2, whale 1, and then getting out kind of on those spikes there. You can just kind of visually looking at those candles, that eye test, you're pretty in line with your volume there, and you only have half of that carryover. So then now, 25th here again, 1,000 contracts. Not a lot carrying over there, only about 365. So now today you have 4,000 here for volume. Looks like, I want to zoom in on today. So most of that's obviously this big candle here. You got 2,000. Some littler volume spikes in here. Let's look at this main one though. So I don't like how that IV decreases right here. You are coming in at the ask though, but I just don't like that IV decrease. You are up 2% on the day. 16 days out. Let's see what else we got for it. So yeah, your net call premium price is kind of above that. So 2-day, the 8 calls here. I'm guessing these were the, intraday moves, just lots of volume there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe these 51-day calls, although those things are already kind of moving a little bit there as well. Then your 8 calls, 16 days out. Yeah, those are all your calls are essentially green right now from your highest volume on the day. We are only trading 0.41 times that 30-day volume though. So again, kind of a little lighter volume move. I haven't looked at the open chart for a long time, as you can see. So let's see where we are. Let me just... So we're sitting on the daily here. Kind of looks like we're chopping within this channel here. So yeah, you're chopping within this little channel right here. You did bounce off the 20-day moving average again. Obviously your volume today still really low, but your last 3 days have had elevated volume here. Very close to that 30-day average. So that's interesting to me that you are getting a good volume move up there. Obviously on your kind of down days here, a little lighter volume, but that's an interesting chart to keep an eye on there. If I'm looking at it, I'd probably I wouldn't open anything today with the market being closed tomorrow and then Friday being short, but momentum entry to the upside there could be a good move on something like that. And that downside gap is filled there. I do want to see... Let's go look at our gamma. Yeah, your gamma's kind of down a lot as well there too. So your gamma level essentially hit already. Yeah, that one, a little tougher chart. Chart obviously making lower highs. Obviously you made your higher high there, so gotta either break out and get above it or you're gonna reject there. And I almost favor more of a rejection here with that little lower volume. Come back down to the bottom of the channel, which would get you to your 100-day moving average there, and possibly look for a bounce there just because you don't have much flow to go off of it. Yeah, and that IV decrease there, I don't like that. Don't like that. And then even if this one, 2 seconds after here, again, 100% can't say if they're related, but 2 seconds after, pretty decent volume, kind of compared to the other stuff in here. Decent size, another IV drop. I would probably make an educated guess that is related there. But good piece of flow there to look at. I'm hearing some dings come in here, so let's go take a peek. Let's go take a peek. More SoFi calls. So, okay, let's start with the Google calls here and work our way up. No multi-leg at 6% out of the money. Google's down, getting a lot of net call premium on the day. Put volume is kind of decreasing. Put premium is still up. So 35.14, when our flow starts to come in here, you get that spike. IV goes up again as well. So a couple drops here, and it is on a little bigger side of the premium. You are coming in 1 cent below the spot though, so we'll keep that in mind. Following that, IV comes back up. Spot comes back in at the ask. So I would probably lean that these are buys here. I'm gonna throw this into the developing flow channel. It's just when you get those IV drops, you can't 100% say, and even with the IV, if it's going all the way up the entire time and the spot's increasing, it doesn't mean it's a buy. It's just, those are kind of your context clues that might suggest that it's a buy. Let me throw that into the developing flow here. Let's see. So Intel, this looks like a block trade, but we'll take a quick peek, and already getting some action after, so probably wouldn't want to post it anyways. Yeah, block trade there, no flow to kind of look around it. Then you got that 379 after anyway, so about half of that volume right away. Apple, again, probably a block trade here. Yeah, good net call premium and read market. Just kind of, okay, it's apparently the last 2 names that we looked at where they're kind of drawing down. So this one, you get a little bit more volume here, and 4,999 contracts, kind of an odd number. So I'm going to probably make the educated guess this other one contract is involved with this. Just kind of odd that you do 4,999 contracts, but that is interesting to me. So this essentially, again, another block trade where you don't get that flow around it fully to kind of see it. And this one, you do have some other times in here too. I'm not liking this flow just with, I mean, obviously your IV drops when that comes in. And then the other timing here, which is 100% the same time, IV drops even more. So probably a no on those for sure. And these are 3% out of the money, 16 days. Yeah, not a fan on that one. Meta, that's multi-leg. Riot's multi-leg. We'll look at these BAs here. So some decent volume on the day before our candle here. So that's 665. You're sitting at 1,200 on the day. So you'd have to see how much of this carries over, but because you could have small little sizing out, or not sizing out through the day. This could just be, well, it could be actually, sorry, my math is a little funky right now on Friday, but yeah, you could have this whale opening, kind of sizing into their position through the day, and then this could be their big exit there. Let's 200, 280, 350, 4, yeah, then you got your other, yeah, it could be very close to your exit here. We'll see if shows us anything. 29.30. Yeah, you don't see anything. Oh well, you got a drop here. Hey, yeah, these might be. The timing's not there, but that's where a lot of that volume's coming in there as well. So more than likely, again, about a minute or so later, again, can't 100% guess it, but this is a screen time thing, just where you see that bigger size. Obviously, it's more than likely related to this other size, so your IV's kind of dropping there. Probably not going to want to chase those. And you even do have a little more volume up here. Again, 10 not so much compared to like the 121 there, but your IV just kind of drops that whole way up there pretty much. So I don't like those either. ETF. Yeah, just a lot of kind of mid crappy-ish flow today. How are we doing here? 20 minutes left. Just kind of chopping now. Market tide's still pretty bullish, but kind of zooming out here. Zoom out 14 days. Well, you do have a pretty decent spike of all call premiums here today. Out of the money, not really seeing a lot though. How are we looking on our sentiment here? So you're back to neutral here. So our breadth, we're sitting at 79.8. So decent breadth again today. So at least you're getting market participation, but it's just lower volume. That's the only thing. Come on, give us some flow. Some flow would be wonderful. I saw some of these BMNRs a little bit earlier too. I think those got put into the developing flow as well. Oh no, that was the BRKBs. BRKB, let's go find that. So those are moving there, 395. I gotta see what I didn't like on that flow. Yeah, you just didn't have anything to really go around it there, but your IV did pop kind of after a little bit right away. So yeah, I mean, that's like a developing flow thing, and I try not to overload that channel with these. I don't want to kind of spam flow that might not work, just to protect people, because I know there's people that'll just kind of take everything that comes in, and you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, market tide, I mean, your call volume's at the highest level of the day right now. So yeah, man, there's just not much coming in here. I think I had anything else for that. Nope. Yeah, really quiet week. Those rocket puts, I don't think we looked at those. Did we look at those? I don't remember if we did. We'll look at them again though. Oh yeah, we did. That IV kind of decreased on those. See a lot of cipher puts again. Really bad spreads on those. See, so we had Walmart. Again, block trade here. IV spikes a little bit. You're up on the day. It's just not always fun. Okay, let's see. Oh, Tesla. Here we go. Here's something. Definitely an opening trade here. Tesla not up too much on the day here. Let's look at the flow. So this one, 48, 83. So that IV is coming up that entire time here. So spot is increasing, IV is increasing, and then your IV decreases here at the end. Yeah, I don't like that IV decrease, especially after being up that much on the day. Even though it's not a massive, I mean, you're up a percent and about a third right now. Yeah, that's something I'll throw that in the developing flow channel. Like, it looks good, but it's almost essentially a chase at that point. And I just don't like how that IV kind of bounces around in there. Let's see, I almost threw that in the flow alerts chart. That is not where it's going. Alright, let's get that posted in there. I got about 15 minutes left. Just chopping into close. Palantir calls. I saw these a little bit earlier, and looks like it's a good thing we probably didn't get those, because looks like they're down a little bit now, and see that IV spiked there, and then that IV kind of spiked again, and then you have a drop there. Then it's kind of, I mean, that IV is just kind of all over the place. So definitely glad I didn't post those at all. I heard a ding, so let's see what we got. United Airlines. Okay, so definitely an opener. Let's go take a peek here. A little multi-leg, not too far out of the money. Again, you're up 3% on the day. So let's remove this. So I got some earlier repeated hits here at 1032, so that IV did increase when those came in. So this okay, so 44, so your IV pops when that comes in. And then here is a small IV decrease here at the end. Again, it's not a huge size or a huge premium. And it looks, I mean, this is, I'd probably say this is coming in at the ask. It looks like that bid-ask spread was sitting at that 170, the 179 that entire time. And then you got some more size and premium coming in here all at the same time. I'm gonna lean with these being buys. These actually look good after we had the second set of sweeps kind of come in there, because you have your IV pop there again as well. So I'm going to post these. Let me just snag one so I can save it. These actually look pretty good there. 3% out of the money with 9 days. Yeah, they look good. Posted. I had a question here too that I just have to quick respond to here in the chat, so give me 1 second here. Yeah, so HL, these just hit 2 cents below the ask, probably a block trade. Yeah, up 7% on the day, 4% out of the money, 23 days. It's not too far, but we'll see. Yeah, block trade there. Floor trade on the large cap. So floor trader putting this in. You just don't have that flow to go around it though. See, that's multi-leg. Anything more for this? Oh, that's messy. Right away, just that's messy. Oh, hey, we are kind of diving a little bit into close there. Yeah, just... Yeah, earlier today, yeah, I mean, just starting the day out with strategy multi-legs, it's just... Ugh. Did have some Oracle puts, but I mean, not really coming in at the ask. I mean, a lot of Oracle puts today, but you just look at those fills, you're not the best here. They tightened up a little bit here, that 150. Let's see how those look now. Yeah, I think this IV is just all over the place. Yeah, you just kind of see how that IV maybe here. I'll come back here. 7150, 7170, that looks good at first. IV's coming up there, then you have some drops in there. Comes back up and it's dropping in there. Yeah, not the best confidence in that, especially when it's kind of dropping throughout that whole repeated hits alert there. Then it comes back up there. Yeah, you just had a lot of hits throughout the day too on it. It's 30% out of the money. Yeah, I mean, is something that could work, but just not a fan of that, how that tape read there. Yeah, getting anything in here before close? Nope, there. More silver calls. How are we finishing? Oh, a little downside there into the end of the day. Just weak volume, 58 million. And our 30-day average is about 100 million or so. So you're saying about half that volume. And just look at that drop in that volume here. I mean, I've been saying it all week here. Expect that lower volume. And interesting just to kind of see. I'm just doing a quick little, quick little chart there. I mean, you're could reject up in here. Start forming a small little new type of channel, but you know, with that volume decrease, that is not always a good sign on those big pumps. Just not going to get anything else to end the day, are we? Well, Disney multi-leg though. 90%, 97% multi-leg. I don't think this one's going to show us. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see what this one is. Yeah, that spy whale's on 154. I mean, they're down a little bit, but a little time on those. And you got those call premiums kind of dipping here towards the end of the day. The holding's still bullish there. No multi-leg on those, and when these came in, these read very nicely here. Your IV spike. Spots coming in at the ask. You just follow that all the way up there. Again, IV increases, spot price increases. Spot price increases again, IV increases. So, I mean, it reads as a buy. It looks very, very good there. Again, got some time on those, though. Little time on those, and we know how quick SPY can drop if there is something going on there. So, more of those 48.5s there. let's take a peek at those. Silver's up again today, obviously. So 35.90, 36.27. Yeah, this flow looks good as well here too. I just, again, you're up 3.5% on the day. Probably don't want to chase that. Yeah, and you're getting good call premium, but you're pretty extended from that, and looks like you would have filled your gap there as well too. Alright, what are we doing here? Nice little red day to finish here. I mean, it would be nice to kind of see us finish towards a VWAP. You didn't have any fundamental changes in the economy or the market or any major earnings, so I mean, you can finish a little flatter here. That'd make more sense to me. Yeah, Tesla's your main driver here, obviously, on the day. Tesla, Palantir, and Robinhood there. Amazon's kind of your only one pushing those put premiums up, which are still bid side. Alright, I'm going to grab a drink here quick too. Oh, I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited to sleep in. And I should start a fight in the chat here 3 minutes before close, and I'll just tell everybody that turkey actually sucks. Turkey is dry and disgusting. But I will enjoy all the pie and everything else, but turkey just, ugh, it's just so dry. Never been a fan of it. M1. Yeah, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, JR. Yeah, I'm just excited to kind of watch some football and hang out. I wish the market was closed on Friday, though. I just hate coming back in for a day. Should deep fry a turkey. I've never tried a deep fried turkey. Just see everybody burning their houses down with the stuff. Yeah, and speaking of Thanksgiving too, so if you are in the market here for unusual whales too, they do have a Black Friday sale. You get 30% off that annual and 15% off for 3 months if you get the monthly, just if you're looking for any Black Friday deals. And I can always send over the code too as well to get that. But good little sale going on right now. That 30% sale is a pretty hefty sale. And again, I can always save you 10% when there's not a sale going around, but 30% is pretty good. Pretty good. Can't argue with a big discount. Yeah, it's gonna be leftovers all week. Some GDX calls coming in here right before close. We're probably not gonna get time to look at those. Oh, big multi-leg, so not too concerned. How are we gonna finish here? Come on. Got 45 seconds and we are done. Yeah, I mean, still very light volume. Pretty light volume. I just no changes in that premiums really on that drop. A little uptick in the puts, but nothing major. Alright, how are we gonna... Oh, there we are. Hey, come on. Give me the VWAP here. We got 10 seconds. Come on. Give me the VWAP finish. Give me the VWAP finish. Please. Come on. Oh, where... Hey. There we go. I'm gonna dump my shares here. Hold on. I'm gonna go dump my 500 million shares. Oh, too late. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And again, remember, Friday's a half day. I'll see if we're going to have a stream or not. Just kind of depends. More than likely, we probably won't. But all right, everybody, have a great Thanksgiving.